Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon to our Dean, Professor Dr. Zaidatun Tasir, to our guest speaker, En Shazmi Ali, and to all audience. Welcome to Human Resource Management Talk Series 2020. I'm Azlineer, and I'll be your moderator for today's program. To begin with this program, we are pleased to invite or to have Professor Dr. Zaidatun, Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, to deliver the welcoming remarks. Please, Dr. Zaidatun.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Dr. Azlineer. As the moderator of our sessions today, I would like to say, first of all, thank you to Associate Professor Dr. Siti Aisyah Panatik as the Chair of the School of Human Resource and Psychology, Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, and also the Director of Human Resource Development Program, Associate Professor Dr. Rosiana Sha'ari. And we are very fortunate today we have our distinguished speaker, Mr. Shazmi Ali from Shell Country HR Directors, and of course to all our Sharps and FSS lovely students who actually join us through Facebook and YouTube today. And as I've been informed that this session will involve first and second semester student in HRM classes, consists of 6 sections, and also the third year student from the strategic planning course. So total of the students who should join our sessions today is up to 348 students. So to all our lovely students, how are you? Make sure you take care yourself at homes. Make sure you are actually attend all the lectures online, and make sure you stay focused and stay calm and tuned to all the lectures that you're having through the online learning. Okay, some of the major reason I believe why you as our student choose a career in human resource is, I believe, is the opportunity to influence innumerable aspects of the organizations and to assist also the developments of employee and people in the organizations. And there are some few challenges when you're going to work in HR later on, such as the recruitment challenges, the talent management, and succession planning. And I believe today, Human Resource Talk Series 2020 that have been initiated by Sharp, and today is the 4th series. Before this, we have a speaker from Intellect Staffing Services Sdn Berhad, Puan Prema Panusami, and we also have a Tengku Nur Farah Aida Tengku Cik from Slamaja, and Puan Ainunul Khalilah Mat Ahir from Petronas, and today we have Mr. Shazmi Ali, the Country HR Director from Shell. Thank you very much, Encik Shazmi. Beside your tight schedule as the HR Director at Shell, you managed to share with all of our students here today on your experience managing people at Shell. So I believe the program today is actually to support what we call it the collaboration between the academia and industry. And through this HR Talk series, it will enrich student knowledge and info on their future career in HR, especially in top companies such as Petronas, Shell, Slamages, and etc. So might be some of you think that why and what makes us to have these kinds of talk series among our first year student and third year student. This is where from the industrial attachments that we get it from the potentials companies, it actually informs us that the university should actually expose as early as we can to the students on their future work environments and what are the challenges, especially those working in HRs, when you're going to work in the future. So based on the input that we collected from the industry, students should be actually briefed and exposed on the info and experience by experts in HR. And as we know that human resource encompass of varieties of jobs, including human resource generalists, employment, placement managers, employer relation representatives. Even nowadays, we need a job analyst. So today talk series, I believe, will keep all of you motivated to stay into the HR program, although you are only at the first year study at UTM. But we believe today's session will actually expose you, share with you what are the experience and challenges in the future when you're going to be graduated from UTM. So this talk, I believe, will give our student on a clear understanding of being in the HR field, and the reason that you will work in HR might be you know that working with the HR, you are working more with people. You will be in a position of influence. You will have the chance to change other people's life, and you also can help develop the people around you. And working in HR, each work day will be different and challenging. And of course, if you love to work with people, then you already actually select the right program at UTM. So with that, we would like to thank you again, Mr. Shazmi, for the sharing session today, and to all our lovely students. Please stay tuned and stay focused, and use this session as much as you can to ask any question from the expert in HR. Thank you very much. With that, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Azlineer.
Thank you, Dean, for that wonderful remarks, and thanks for being here, because I know you're very busy and you seem to be very supportive. So let me introduce to all of you on our guest speaker, En Shazmi Ali. En Shazmi has a wide range of experience in various industries such as manufacturing, IT, aviation, healthcare, and oil and gas. And he's currently with Shell Malaysia as HR Country Director. Before joining Shell, he was the Cluster HR Director for Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei, of the world's leading and most famous biopharmaceutical company, Pfizer. I'm sure we all know Pfizer because it's very famous for its vaccines nowadays. So due to Shazmi's vast experience as HR leader in Asia Pacific, and his tremendous contributions and work in the HR field, Shazmi has been credited as the global 100 most influential HR person. And not only that, he has also been added to Stanford Who's Who. Well, I can go on and on and on, sharing about Shazmi's professional background, but I do believe we are all more interested and keen to listen to his sharing sessions. So without further ado, please welcome En Shazmi Ali.
Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone, and a very good afternoon. I'm Shazmi. Thank you so much to Dr. Zaidatun, Dr. Nini, and Dr. Azlineer for inviting me for the session today. And I like the word sharing. It is going to be a sharing session, because sharing session means not many slides, and I will share as much as I can, but it will rely a lot on the number of questions that you have. And I like to be asked a lot of questions. So the more questions you have, the happier I will be. I'm going to share my screen just a very short while. Please do tell me if you can see my screen, yeah? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, so for those of you who didn't know how to spell my name, that's Shazmi Ali. As mentioned, I'm currently the Country HR Director for Shell Malaysia. I've been in Shell for more than 2 years right now, and prior to that, I was the Cluster Southeast Asia Director for Pfizer. And in Pfizer, I was there for almost 6 years. The first 5 years, I was based out of Malaysia, and the last 1 year, I was based out of Singapore. So today, I've been asked to share about Comment Bank, but let me tell you a bit about yourself. A lot of times when you get introduced, people will share your professional background. But I think it's important to know the person behind that professional background, because I think that's probably equally more important. So the photo on the left That's me and my wife, and we've got 3 children. So I've got a pair of twins. The twins are a boy and girl twins, so they are 6 years old. And I also have a 1.5 years old baby, so I have a very young family. The second photograph is the picture of my parents and my brother. Of course, a lot of people ask me, especially when I do sharing intent internationally, whether I'm a Malaysian or not. So this is the same slide I use. So of course, I have a Malaysian, born in KL, and ever since I was 6 years old, I've been orang Shah Alam, and I still until today live in Shah Alam. I married someone who also is from Shah Alam, so tak berkembang in that sense, right? So we've been in Shah Alam our whole life. I work for Shell. Unfortunately, I am a strong supporter of the Arsenal Football Club. It's given me nothing but frustration in the last few years. But once you support a team, then you continue supporting a team. The globe up there is my actual passion. My actual passion is traveling. Every year I try to visit as many countries as possible, some because of work and some because of own travel nature. So I've been to about, I think, 55 countries in the world. And of course, this year I tak pergi mana-mana, right? I couldn't go anywhere. But looking forward to 2021, that at least our travel pattern hopefully will change, and then I get to able to travel again. And last but not least is the picture on the right. In 2019, last year, I had the privilege and honor of representing Malaysia at the men's above 40 rugby touch World Cup. So I used to train very hard for that, and yeah, it was a real honor. When you walk into the stadium and they play the Negaraku, it is one of my most emotional experiences ever. Okay, so enough about me. So I've been asked to share about compensation and benefit, but I thought before I share about comp and ben, let's take a step back and see what is changing in the world today, right? I think if you are part of a business program, you're part of a management program, or HR for that matter, you realize that the world is changing. The world that we've had last year to this year, of course, have changed completely. That's mainly driven by COVID, but also the last few years, things have changed. Now, I have categorized it. There are a lot of changes, yeah, but I've categorized it to 4 big things when it comes to corporations. The top left photograph is, of course, the amount of AI and technology that has come into the workplace. Today things are so different. Things need to be faster, quick, more accurate, and a lot of times, whenever you are dialing into a call center, you're dialing into when you're seeking for assistance. A lot of times, it is not answered by a person. It's answered by a bot, right? Like a robot, as we call it. And the bot can already do so many different transactions. And HR is no different. The amount of AI that's in HR, the amount of bot that we use, machine learning, etc., is although it's only in the beginning stage, but you can already see so many differences. And one wonders in 3 years, 5 years from now, what significant changes there will be. The second photograph is explosion of information. I think we live in an information age where you can get anything, any information you want at your fingertips. And the role of a manager at work, or the role of a CEO at work, or HR person, is now to understand which information to use and which information not to use, which information is relevant to a decision and which information is just making loud noise and a distraction. A lot of times we feel the more information we have, the better it will be. But actually it's not. Sometimes too much information can be a bit of a problem. And now there is this new thing, if you read about it, we used to be in an age of information. Now we are in the age of misinformation, because a lot of the things that you find on the internet is also not correct. It's also fake, it's also not true. So if today you're a student and trying to research on something, you will get enough good information about that topic, but you'll also get a number of wrong information on that topic. So how you pick what is right and what is wrong. And if that you need to decide at a student level or at a consumer level when we are Googling a product. Imagine, you're a CEO, you're leading a company, you're leading a department, and you need to make all these decisions. Third, the bottom left, we live in a global environment. So let's go beyond Malaysia. We live in a global environment where diversity and inclusion is so important today. Right? And that's why you see in that photograph, you have people of different color, people of different ages, etc. And in Malaysia, we might not feel it so much, but if you work in an international company, if you work in Shell, you work in Pfizer, you work in Google, you work in Microsoft, or you work in Petronas, right? You will realize that diversity and inclusion is one of the biggest agenda all these organizations have to make sure that today, if you join a company, you are our employee, whether you are what race you are, what gender you are, how you look. You can have brown hair, black hair, you have tindih hidung, tak tindih hidung, whatever you are, right? All that is important is the work that you bring to the organization. How you appear, how you look, what your background is going to be secondary, right? But that is where the challenge is, because a lot of companies, they still have their old culture mindset, or you got to do this, or can we trust this person, rambut dia warna pink, betul ke what they are presenting. So at the end of the day, these are the challenge that the organization has to do. The worry is, if you don't embrace D&I, then you're not getting the best talent out there, right? If the best talent today in HR, for example, if today I'm hiring a fresh graduate for HR, and if the best talent is someone with blue hair, with multiple piercings and a tattoo, and whatever they look, but if that is the best person, then I would want to hire the best person, right? Number 4 is, you see all the pointing of fingers. What society expects of company today is also very different from 20 years ago. 20 years ago, if you're an organization that pollutes the environment, nobody cares. If you're an organization that, buy your way to success, pay some officials to get some contracts, people will just close an eye and will say, oh, that's how we do business in this country. But right now, no. Anytime you make a mistake, the world is watching you and your share price get affected. So your accountability is now no longer to your staff and shareholders, but also to the community. Yeah, so those are the 4 big changes. And I hope when you do your assignments in the coming months, coming years, always think about these 4 big changes and how is that driving or changing, whether it's marketing, changing HR, changing finance, because the fact is it is actually changing. Next, if you ask all the big business magazine, they'll tell you there are 10 things that are changing, the new trends. Yeah. So let me pick a few. So decrease of age-based seniority, I think you see it today even in Malaysia. The person that has worked the longest in the company is not necessarily the GM or the CEO of the company. Sometimes the CEO of the company is only 40 years old, but dia punya direct report can be 50, 60 years old. And so it's no longer the longer you work there, the oldest person in the team will naturally be the leader. That has changed. As a leader, today is no longer about giving instructions, but it's also about coaching someone. Yeah, so it's how well you do coaching is going to differentiate whether you're a good leader or not a good leader. Personal relations leadership. This is very interesting. Some people say, oh, when you come to work, you leave your family matters behind. But in today's world, when you come to work, your boss, in order to show care, is also supposed to know you are the berapa anak, what you like to do, how was your weekend, and try to pick up what are your stress signals so that they can become a better leader. And in the past, 20 years from now, if your boss asks you what do you do for the weekend, you probably get stressed Why does my boss needs to know what I did for the weekend? But right now it's become a normal thing. Multi-generational, I think that one is so common. I already mentioned about D&I. Culture of agility is no longer about what we have today or what we did yesterday, is how fast we change. It's all about changing. And for in terms of agility, so if you read my profile, I've been in some, Alhamdulillah, I've been blessed and to be in very good organization, but I've not seen a more agile organization than Pfizer. Pfizer will do a reorg in, let's say, January, and by December they realize that, oh, we need to change again. They will change it, no matter whether staff complain ke tak complain ke. If they feel that's the right thing to do for the business, they will do. But if they don't do, the competitor will do, and you will lose ground. Yeah. The other thing is, let's pick on gig employees. I hope you know what gig employees. Gig employees are people who don't belong to a company. They have a particular set of skills, and they work on a project basis. Yeah. And the other thing is leveraging technology and social media has become big. And I always tell, whenever I speak at a forum, whether that's international or local or even something like this, I would say, well, the best way to connect with me right now is connect me on social media, because that's the faster way I will answer your question. If you send me an email, in all honesty, I get 300 to 400 emails a day. Chances are I will miss your email. But if you send me a message, for example, on Instagram, I'm not going to get 100 messages on Instagram every day. I'm not a social influencer. So then chances are I will reply your message. If you send me a message on LinkedIn, unfortunately, LinkedIn right now, today, I feel has become a bit of an advertisement platform. I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn about people trying to sell a service. And therefore, I'm also not on LinkedIn as often. I have, I think, about 22,000 followers on LinkedIn, but I don't use it as much as I used to, because there is a lot of spamming that happens on LinkedIn. But anyway, these are the new trends. Yeah. So let's talk about com and ban. I don't know whether I'll be able to ask the questions right now. So if you look at all the trends, right, that I mentioned today, age-based seniority, multi-generational leadership, gig employees, agility, so on and so forth. Do you think those new trends have changed the way we look at common ban? The question is, does this affect common ban? And if the answer is no, if it doesn't affect, then do we need a common ban team? And if it's yes, I know what is the value of common ban. Dr. Azlineer, I guess we cannot pause and get some voice, right? Is that possible ke tak possible?
Just a one-way, Cik Shazmi. It's not interactive, so it's just a one-way street for you to share, okay. And the student will ask questions in the FB comments. Yeah.
Okay. So I will answer the questions on your behalf.
Thank you.
So does it affect com and ban? Yes, it should. If the changing trend doesn't affect the way you do com and ban, then your com and ban is outdated. Yeah. And in all honesty, I will tell you, today com and ban is of course separated into two, right? The compensation part and the benefit part. In the past, the company benefit can attract and retain an employee. Meaning you join the company because the benefit is good, you stay in that company because the benefit is good. Yeah. Compensation, tak cakap lah. Most people will join an organization because of what salary they offer. But in today's world, and in all honesty, the benefit doesn't create a value that you stay in that company. I've not heard in the last probably 8-9 years someone say, oh, I'm staying in this company because the benefit is good. It's no longer that. Benefit has taken a bit of a backseat. A lot of the focus is on compensation. Yeah. So I have only, I think, 3 more slides before we open up the Q&A. Okay, so what is compensation and benefits to you? So let's talk about compensation first. Yeah, this is your dollars and cents. Typically, compensation is your salary. your gaji pokok. And then the bonus that you get at the end of the year. For some jobs, you get certain allowances. If you work in a company that is listed in the stock market, now whether that's listed in KLSE or whether it's on Wall Street or FTSE in UK, you will get some sort of a share plan. And typically the share plan is for a certain job grade and above. In some organizations, they have a spot bonus. So a regular bonus is paid at the end of the year, or rather at the end of a financial cycle. Yeah. So January to December, let's say your financial cycle, then usually January or February you buy a bonus, depending on how well the company has done in that period of January to December. Spot bonus, if the first 6 months have gone so well, and it's not even time to pay bonus yet, because bonus is at the end of the year. You give a spot bonus. It's like a bonus that is not planned for, and it's usually given in the middle of a financial cycle. Now, if you're lucky to work in a company that gives spot bonus, then fantastic lah. Because if you get a spot bonus in June, chances are you'll definitely get a full bonus at the end of the year. Yeah. Incentive. Now, for some individuals, so certain jobs, they get an incentive plan. The more you sell, the higher incentive you get. So in Pfizer, for example, all of us had a salary. Most of us had a bonus. Some of us had allowances. A very small of people had a share plan. But if you are doing a sales job, then you are paid an incentive. So if your target is to sell, for example, 100,000 ringgit worth of drugs for that year, medicine or vaccines, etc., and you sell 100,000, then you get an incentive. Now, incentive can be in two forms. Incentive can be in cash. Incentive can also be in terms of a company trip. Yeah, a lot of this what we call FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods, your Nestle, Procter and Gamble, Unilever, etc. A lot of those companies will give incentive trip. So you meet your sales target at the end of the year, at the end of the year they decide, okay, now everyone who meet their target, you go for a holiday in Australia or in London, etc. Insurance industry also as an industry that gives a lot of incentive trips. Yeah. Last but not least is commission. Commission is very similar to incentive, where if you sell something, you get a sales commission. But usually commission is tied to a job that doesn't pay you basic salary at all, where it's completely 100% commission, or very small basic salary and the rest is all on commission. Example of an industry that works a lot on commission is real estate, property developer. The more houses you sell, the more higher commission you get. For each house you sell, you get, let's say, I don't know, 10,000 ringgit. So you sell 5 houses, you get 50,000 ringgit. Another industry that works a lot on commission is car. People that sell cars, right? So if you walk into a car showroom today, whether it's Proton or it's Ferrari, it doesn't matter. Any salesperson there that sells a car, for every car that they sell, they get a commission. Because either they don't have any basic salary at all, or they have very minimal basic salary. So they rely a lot on commission. Yeah. So generally, those are the very big concepts when it comes to compensation. I will say, in all honesty, compensation hasn't changed much. Yeah, the amount has changed probably. The way people are paid bonus have changed, but the concept and the terms have sort of remained very similar. Yeah, but if we look at benefit, where that is where maybe you can see a bit of change. Wait, yeah, my screen is stuck. Okay, benefit. The typical benefit that individual get, staff get, medical benefit, which we all want, yeah, and then family related benefit. You get family leave, compassionate leave. If ada orang meninggal and you get cuti, anak you nak pergi first day school, you get cuti, and so those are the family related leave. Then there is the continuing education leave. You join the company, you work for 2 years, you got good performance, and they sponsor your master's program or PhD for that matter. In some company, the benefit is they give you a car or a car allowance. Yeah, but most of the time, so the way I see it, if it's a government-linked corporation, they still provide a car. If it's a multinational corporation, they don't provide a car anymore. They give you an allowance. Yeah. The difference is, if they provide a car, the car is still the company's car. But as long as you work in the company, you get to use the car. The moment you, let's say, resign from the company or you retire, the car goes back to the company. Yeah. But even the car allowance, you can buy the car of your choice. So the car allowance helps you to pay your loan for the car. And if you leave the company, the car is still yours. You just have to continue paying the loan. So that's why most companies are moving towards a car allowance. And then, of course, if you travel for work, I know you get mileage claims, insurance, in the event of permanent disability, or you pass away while serving the company. Then, of course, you get insurance, and then family related benefit like medical coverage for family. Some companies, they what do you call it, they help you to pay for your tadika for your children for at least for the first 1-2 years. So these are your typical benefits, and if you feel this is the benefit that is good, then unfortunately this is outdated. Yeah. If today you are going to design, you're a CNB person of an organization, and they tell you, or today you are going to design the com and band plan or strategy for the company, and you come out with the same thing as it is, it's okay. But then your company is no different from any other company. It's like you masuk company lain pun is like the same kind of benefit. Yeah. So that's why I say that this is outdated. What is trending right now, what is new, which a lot, and in fact, not so new anymore, is look at the first one, is flexible. You decide how you want your benefit to be. So I give an example. Cuti 20 hari, example, and your medical coverage is 100,000. And you say, okay, I'm a 25-year-old person. I don't think I'm going to get sick and spend 100,000 on insurance. So I tell the company, I want more leave because I want to go travel, but you can reduce my insurance. So what happened then is, instead of 20 days, you get 30 days annual leave. But from 100,000, your insurance coverage is only 50,000. So in terms of the cost for the company, it's the same. Yeah, the company would have calculated what the cost is. Or then you say, can you pay my gym membership? You pay my gym membership, I will reduce the number of my annual leave. Because, well, this year I cannot travel anyway because of COVID, but I will go to gym more often. So those are the kind of things that is working out there in terms of flexibility. And it's good because you have to understand, every employee in a company is very different. From someone who's 55 years old to someone who's 25 years old. You and I know today you are probably for most of the students, you're probably about 20, 21 years old. Your parents are probably in their 40s and 50s. What your parents want and what you want are completely different. So if the company only has one benefit that caters to everyone, chances are nobody is happy. Yeah, but if you can customize it to what your need is, then of course you can make more people happy. At the end of the day, the benefit is trying to make more people happy in the organization as a point of attraction, or at least point of retention. Another big thing that is going on right now is wellness. So wellness benefit can be gym membership, you nak beli vitamin, you nak what else? Or you want to buy sports equipment, you want to buy racket, you want to buy football shoes, etc. Whatever that you want to buy can all come under the wellness benefit. So a lot of companies have wellness as well. Another one that a lot of youngsters want today is digital, right? So you give me a company laptop, but instead of giving me insurance, which I'm healthy, can you buy me the latest iPhone or the latest Samsung Note 20, for example? Because these are the benefit that attracts people or people want. Yeah, something that of course come up in 2020, in the beginning, sejak this whole COVID thing is of course home office. Can you help me set up my home office? So in Shell, we actually did an assessment as a self-assessment. So individually go into a tool, you fill in a bunch of questionnaire on how your working condition in the office is, do you have proper chair, proper table, etc. And based on that assessment, using, of course, algorithm and AI, we tell you that, okay, you need to buy, let's say, a new desk and a new chair, and the desk and chair in Malaysia should come up to about a cost of, let's say, 1,000 ringgit, and we give you 1,000 ringgit allowance, which a lot of people were very happy with, because like it or not, this is COVID started, not COVID started, rather our lockdown started I think 18, 19 March. Now it's end of December. We are still working from home for Shell, for most of us. And I think only a period of 1 month when we went back to office on 1 week on, 1 week off. The rest of the time we've all been working from home. So imagine not having a proper home set up, of course, is disruptive to a lot of people. What some companies also do is they give you F&B vouchers. So if you work in a hotel, for example, then of course you get discounted at other hotels, etc. But even if you don't work in a hotel, so I can tell you a name of, so I won't tell you the name of the company because confidentially, but it's not Shell, where they give staff travel vouchers. In a year you get a 500 ringgit travel voucher from, let's say, or rather flight voucher from Asia, and go on holiday, right? Again, these are the things that people want, because I plan to go on a holiday once a year, and 500 ringgit, if you give me Malaysia Airlines, chances are I cannot buy that many tickets, or I cannot probably go. I don't even know whether you can get anything for less than 500, maybe locally, yes. But if you Air Asia, 500 ringgit voucher, when they have their zero crazy sales and whatever, not, you can actually travel a lot of places. Yeah. Product discount is something which now Shell is doing, which since I joined, we started. A lot of time benefit is tied to a cost. Yeah, and as the economy is tough, everyone is looking at how to manage their cost. But what you can give in terms of benefit is a product discount. So I give you an example. If you go and buy, let's say, I give an actual example. Yeah, if you go as a Shell employee, if today you buy a Proton car, you get a 4% discount. If you buy a Mercedes, you get a 6% discount. If you buy a BMW, because you're a Shell staff, you get a 7% discount. If you want to go on holiday to Berjaya hotels across the country, you get a 30% discount. If you want to go to certain restaurants, you get additional discount. If you want to buy Dyson vacuum cleaner ke, hair dryer ke, there is a special discount for Shell staff. All this discount. Oh, the other thing, Samsung products is discounted for Shell staff, even the latest phones. Yeah. So this kind of benefits doesn't cost the company any money, but it is a good thing for the staff, because the staff would want to either sometimes buy a new TV ke, buy a new phone ke, or go on holiday, etc., or buy a car for that matter. We've got a long list of product discount. As a Shell staff, you get to enjoy. So this is a new way of making your benefit attractive without spending company money. Now, there are some organizations that have gone completely extreme and say, I'm not providing any benefit. Every year I spend on an average, let's say 8,000 ringgit on benefits per staff. I'm going to give you the 8,000 ringgit. You do whatever you want with the 8,000 ringgit, but you have no coverage of anything. In a year that you don't get sick, fine, the 8,000 is yours. But if you suddenly get sick and have to be hospitalized and you don't buy your own personal insurance with the 8,000 ringgit, then of course you're in trouble. So I'm not keen on going the full extreme of full cash, because I think employees still need to slowly get there, but some companies are already doing it. And then of course there are a lot more other benefits. If you work for Google, your food is provided for. You just go to the canteen, pick up whatever you want. sorry, not canteen, cafe, and pick up whatever you want at any time of the day, and it's all paid for. The vending machines, you don't need to put coin, or you just go and just pay whatever you want, and it's all covered for. Those are also all different kinds of benefit. So okay, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to, so about 20 minutes of sharing, I'm going to open up for Q&A. Before that, just in case we missed the chance at the end, please, if you would like to ask for the question, if you want to share or you just want to get connected, please follow me on either four platform. My name is Shazmi Ali, so my Instagram is Shazmi Ali, LinkedIn is Shazmi Ali, my Gmail pun is Shazmi Ali at Gmail. However, I will tell you the fastest way to get a response is Instagram, because that's the one that today I don't get a lot of spam. But before or when you message me, just say that you attended this talk or this sharing session, so I know who exactly you are. Yep. But whatever way that you are comfortable, whether Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., please do keep in touch. I think in today's world, one way of ensuring success is being connected with as many people as possible. With that, Dr. Azlineer, can I pass it back to you for Q&A, and I will stop my sharing?
Thank you, Encik Shazmi. Very interesting talk. I have several points that I would like to make, but end up I just remember one, Encik Shazmi. You guess what? Dyson. Oh my God, you get discounted price for Dyson. Who would want Dyson? Like those vacuum cleaner, it helps you a lot. Well, anyway,
just to that point, yeah, we started off with something small, but we told this company that we have 5,000 employees and family members, more than family, so 5,000 just staff. Yeah, we're not saying we're going to suddenly boost your sales, but what do you have to lose? We know all these companies have a high margin. By giving us a bit of discount, you might still end up, selling your barang. So what's the problem? So initially the companies were reluctant, and then of course, when, for example, we got BMW, then we went to Mercedes. We said, oh, BMW is giving us a discount. Mercedes don't want to give us a discount. Then and so it's a clever way of trying to get benefit without spending money.
Yeah, it's a good catch. It's a good catch. I love. Yeah, I mean, we have actually several questions here, good ones. I guess we have 5 questions. Well, the first one is, if some of the employees find out that they receive less amount of bonuses than others, it will trigger employees' dissatisfactions. And how do you encounter this problem?
Sure, it happens all the time. So I can say in Southeast Asia, so it's not a Malaysia problem, it's a Southeast Asia problem. Salary is never confidential. I've had cases where people book up, they sleep and share with their friend, this is what they got for bonus. Yeah, but majority of the time is people sharing wrong information. So if I only get 1 month of bonus, I'm malu to tell my friend I only got 1 month of bonus, because then they will know I'm a poor performer. So I say I got 4 months of bonus. And my friend, who probably was a good performer and got 3 months of bonus, is now frustrated, say, Shazmi ni asyik curi tulang but still can get 4 months, because they will never know whether I really got 4 months or not. Yeah. So when an employee comes and says they are dissatisfied, how come Shazmi got more bonus? What we'll do is we'll check, and we won't tell that Shazmi is lying. We won't tell what is Shazmi's actual bonus. We'll say that all we can confirm is, Azlineer, for example, that you got a higher bonus than Shazmi. But we're not going to tell you exactly how much. That's one. Second, and if genuinely someone got lesser bonus than another person, then that is because of performance. And we tell them that you did well, but the other person did better. It's a relative performance mechanism. Yeah, so people will never ever be happy with bonus. Yeah. You get 6 months or so, they'll say, why I did not get 7. Yeah. Right? But it's about managing the conversation and being as transparent as possible. We will always say it's tied to the performance. These are the areas of performance that you need to. And that's why you did not get more than someone else. And but these are very emotional. Most conversation with HR is always emotional, lah. But this is very emotional. But finally, we realize I think maybe 60-70% of the time they've been given wrong information that their friend got more. Actually, their friend did not get.
Well, thank you, En Shazmi. I mean, I can say that the only accurate information about bonuses is actually government staff bonuses, because it will be disclosed during the budget. So that's confirmed. And we're going to get at 600 next year.
Yay.
Why not? Okay, the second question is, have you ever experienced whereby employee feels that the reward they receive in the company is not enough with the effort they have contributed to the company, and how you explain to this employee?
Yeah, so all the time. Yeah, because people feel that they work hard, and they're not just handsomely rewarded, but adequately rewarded to the effort that they put in. Yeah, and that's why. So a couple of things. One is, as an employer or as a manager, you need to ensure someone that puts in more effort should end up getting a better performance rating than the person that put less effort. That's one, because the performance rating will differentiate the increment that you get and the bonus that you get. Yeah. And second is also to explain to the employee, working hard and working smart are two different things. If you masuk kerja pukul 8 and balik pukul 10 and your performance is at 70%, for example, 10 malam I mean, not 10 pagi 10 malam I mean, but there is someone who comes in at 10 and finishes at 5 and delivers higher, then that is the better person. Yeah. No one, so I wouldn't say no one, most companies today don't really care the amount of hours you put. It's the amount of outcome that you can achieve. And that's why the amount of outcome has to be measurable, because then it becomes easier to reward in that sense. But there are times like this year, right? We are all working. The amount of work I've done this year in my entire career, this year is more than my entire career. Yeah. But this year, Shell has already announced in March that for 2020, there is no bonus. So of course people feel, no bonus, but they told you in March for next year punya bonus. So you've been given a heads up. Are we happy? Of course not. We all want bonus, but you cannot say that the company is not transparent. So it's about being transparent, also very important. And again, bonus is about company punya financial situation, their shareholders, etc. So a lot of things. Yeah. So I hope I answered the question.
Yes, very clear. It's a very good answer, Cik Shazmi, and thank you so much. So we move on to the next one, which is about motivation. If an employee experiences demotivation in the workplace, what approaches does company, such as Shell, for example, have to make the employees more motivated?
So the number one thing to do is to find out why that person is motivated. Dia sakit kaki, you cannot give ubat sakit kepala, right? A reward is not the only solution to motivation. Yeah, a lot of times we realize you give reward, becomes okay for a week or two, or the first month that they get the new paycheck, then they are back to their demotivated self. So it's about finding out why they're demotivated, whether it's not enough salary, and to be honest, jarang I hear that. Jarang I hear that I'm demotivated because I'm not paid enough. Because you know what your salary was before you joined the company, right? So a lot of time it's got to do with stress with my line manager, or home stress, right? I'm stressed. I've got children at home. We've got, in the past, issues with, and this is funny when we talk now, but that point of time was a bit stressed. I've got two wives. I don't know how to balance and affecting my work, macam-macam, right? I'm having an affair with my colleague, and now we have broken off. I come to work, I tengok muka dia, I cannot concentrate. Macam-macam kerana lah, right? So if someone is demotivated, find out what's causing the demotivation before thinking that reward will solve it.
Okay, wow, we have a lot of questions, but I'll see how it goes because Encik Shazmi is very busy. So we have until about 2 o'clock. Let me skip that one about Agile because you basically already answered that during your explanations. Skip with that Agile and okay, this is about letting go of a good employee. Now, if some of the best employees in your company get better offer from other organizations, what will you do? Assuming that he or she is an asset to your company, is there any strategy for retaining a performer in your company?
I will tell you what my preference is. My preference, if they get a better offer someone else that is a crazy offer, is to shake their hand, wish them good luck, and thank you for your service. That is my preference. You cannot stop someone who's decided to leave. However, if the person has not resigned yet, the person comes to tell the boss that, hey, I'm thinking of resigning, I'm getting a good offer. I actually like working in Pfizer, I actually like working in Exxon, I actually like working in Shell, whatever company it is, but the offer is just too good lah, susah lah nak cakap no. But belum tender, then we might work something out. For me, if someone had already resigned, had already given the letter, had already told their friends they are resigning, and then you counter offer, you're sending the wrong signal that just resign, then we will give you more money. But that's not the message you want to send to the organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Tapi kalau dia belum tender and still in discussion mode, I think it's still okay. One very common thing that people do is, especially if this guy is your superstar lah, right? Your high potential person, is to give a retention bonus. So you stay for another 12 months, we'll sign up a new contract. At the end of the 12 months, you get a further 4 months salary. At the end of another 12 months, you get another 3 months salary. Exactly whatever the quantum is, but a retention bonus is something which commonly done in most companies. Some people will do it after someone has tendered officially, but I'm not a fan of that because I think it sends a wrong signal to the organization.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're right. You know, if people would like to move on, I think we just have to support them rather than we keep them and they're not happy in our company and they cannot perform. So we move on to
sorry, just to add on that. In the past, if you resign from the company, you cannot join back because it's like merajuk lah. You know, you dah tak nak kita orang, now you want to come back. No. Today we welcome people who come back, and if given the choice to me, I make that person a poster child of you can leave us, but you'll come back again anyway because we are much better than anyone else. This is your best person to give a validation or to say that this is a good company. I left Syarikat Shazmi Ali. After 3 years, I realized there's no other company like this. I want to come back. Oh, that's the best branding you can do compared to putting up billboards and advertisement.
Yes, exactly. Because you cannot replicate, another person. So by having them with better knowledge and skills to come back and contribute, I think that's the very best options. Now we move on to incentives, and how does HR ensure that organizations' reward will contribute to high performance among their employees? So rewards and high performance.
Okay, so may I check, have your students learned about market benchmarking?
Benchmarking, I don't think there is any specific discussion in benchmarking in HRM, but I'm not sure in management courses.
Okay. No, so this is in compensation, as in this compensation 101 benchmarking. So basically what it does is we take a selected group of companies, usually the companies within your industry, right? And then we appoint a third-party consultant, that could be a PwC, a Hay, Deloitte, whatever, and they get all the salary data of all these 10 companies. So, for example, Shell, we do it together with Petronas, Exxon, Schlumberger, Talisman, Sakura Petroleum, all that. Right? So we pull all that salary details. Of course, that's why you need a third party to keep confidential. Yeah. And then we say, for example, okay, HR director. And HR director, what are the salary from the highest paid to the lowest paid of that job group. So that becomes your data. Then what we do is we try to find out what is the market median. So the market median then becomes the mid percentile of what organization should pay for a HR director, right? So that's where it is. So if you want to reward higher, you pay higher than a percentile. If you, well, you cannot, once you give that salary, you cannot reward lower, lah, right? But this is how you measure where that person should be. Some companies say, I don't want to pay my people at 50th percentile. I want to pay at 75th percentile. So whoever who joined that company, you can complain gaji you rendah ke apa, you're already getting paid for that job more than 75% higher than other organizations. And that's how it is done to make sure that we continue to reward people at the correct stage. So that market benchmarking is extremely important. It's a bit difficult to explain like this. I wish I had a board and an audience so I can explain exactly how it's done. But maybe in the future, I'll be able to explain with a proper calculation and mathematics to it.
Yeah, sure. There will be always next time. Okay, Cik Shazmi, since we have like 3 more minutes before 2 o'clock, I'm just going to take this question, the last question. Can you share what skills or competencies your company expect from new employees in the real situations?
Okay.
In the current situations.
So before I answer that, I'm okay to stay on another 5-10 minutes. My next meeting is only at 2:15, so I'm okay if there are more questions to answer. Skills or competencies your company expect from new employees. Okay, let me tell you what we expect from graduates. Yeah, because those are the ones that we hire. So Shell, in 2019, we hired, I think, 40 graduates. Yeah, across engineering and non-engineering. And to get that 40 graduates, we had virtual career fairs in US and Australia. We went to an actual UK EC grad one fair in London, and also open up across the year for the Malaysian grads, just to find 40 orang. Yeah, so it is super duper competitive. And let me tell you, the people who are generally successful are people who are not like everybody else. You are not Googling to find best way to write a resume and all your resume looks alike. You are not writing something that everyone else writes, because then again, it becomes boring. So it's in the past, to join Shell, you have to be a first class honors. Yeah, we changed that because we realize first class honors are not necessarily all rounders. So now we say 3.0 and above, which most people are okay lah, right? And then you got to be active in co-curriculum, blah, 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 blah. That one all fine. But we need you to be, how do I say? We need you to be unique, like we need you to be different, right? And not try to be like everybody else. We don't want someone who plays it safe. So I give you an example of a question I asked during an interview. I always ask this question, dulu Pfizer ke apa kan? I always ask the same question, right? Tell me about a time when you learn something complex in a short period of time. 99% of the answers I don't even remember anymore, because it's like, oh, I'm need to do a project lah, programming language lah, your same over and over again. Then we got this candidate who said that, can it be non-work related, non-academic related? I said, yeah, it can be about anything. All our questions can be anything about your life, not necessarily academic or work experience. So you say, okay, I am not rich. I'm a broke student. I don't come from a well-off family, but I had a girlfriend. It was our 1-year anniversary coming up. I had no money to buy a present, but I learned to play the piano in 2 weeks so that I can play her a song for the anniversary. Something complex in a short period of time, and answer that I can never forget. Immediately, we cut short the interview. We look at each other like, this is the guy we want to hire. And I'm sure a lot of people answer like that. A lot of people would have experienced something like that, but they are not courageous enough to answer like that. Right? They try to play safe. So yeah, someone who's courageous, someone who will come to share and say that what you are doing is wrong. There is a better way of doing things. Those are the kind of people that we want. Because if we bring you in and you're going to say that what we've been doing for the last 10 years is the only method that is correct to do, then we don't need you there. We want your ideas. We want someone to come and challenge us. However, let me put a disclaimer. Shell or Pfizer, a lot of the MNCs are open for staff, junior staff to come in and challenge us. Those are the kind of people that we look for. But some organizations might not be so open to that. Some organizations, they want you to toe the line. They want you to say, yes, boss, you are correct. But we are not that kind of organization. I enjoy the day my graduate will come to tell me and say, Shazmi, I think what you said at the town hall was not correct. I think it was a bit insensitive. Maybe you should not do it. I would love that person because as a leader, sometimes nobody will be giving you feedback. But if someone comes and tell you that I think you're doing wrong, or I think you could have done this better, the polite way, like I think you could have done this better, that helps you to develop yourself. And as a leader, you don't get a chance to develop yourself so much. So I always look forward.
Yeah, very true. So that was a good tip. Yeah, boys and girls, you have to be unique. You have to be different. You know, offer something new to the company. And so book smart, only like know what, not enough. And you must also be active. So I guess that's a very good tips. And the next question is about benefits. So based on your observations, Encik Shazmi, do the benefits of any company give to their employees remain the same even though during this COVID-19 where company is facing unstable financially unstable?
No, depends on the company. Yeah, Shell, we've not cut any benefits. In fact, we've introduced that work home assessment sort of allowance kind of thing, right? But a lot of companies have cut benefits tremendously. A lot of companies have cut salaries as well. Yeah. But as far as I know, most companies that have cut benefit, they have not touched the medical bit because it's kind of cruel during a pandemic. You cut medical benefit, that's the one that probably people need. But a lot of companies have cut their benefits, cut salaries, and a number of them have also shut down. So it is a reflection of our time that things are tough. But yeah, so one of the easiest things to do if a company wants to cut costs is cut training, cut travel, cut benefits. Right? They won't cut projects because they have to do their project to get money. So yeah, a lot of companies have done that, but thankfully we are not anywhere near that.
Okay. I guess this is going to be our last questions, and I go back to the agile scenario where this is the questions. HR is going agile nowadays, and what is your view if Kanban is changed into personalized compensation, like what you explained just now, and where people are having impact in their roles and where they need to grow and develop? So this is talking about your opinion about the personalized compensations and benefits.
Yeah, so the term that I have, the Shell also has this, the term that Shell has that I like is moments that matter in someone's life, right? So what are the moments that matter in your life? My first car, my first house, my marriage, my first child, then my retirement. And then you design the com and band to suit the moments that matter in someone's life. So that's why that personalized or other flexible benefit is very, very important in order to keep someone happy in the organization. Because at a time when I want to buy a house, you tell me, oh, we have a product discount from, let's say, I don't know, let's say Standard Chartered Bank, and loans are cheaper because you're a Shell staff. Fantastic. When I have my baby, oh, you actually have a gift basket for young babies. Huh. When my child nak pergi sekolah, I want to send my child to a daycare, we compensate you 300 ringgit a month because you have to work and you can't take care of your child. So this is your 300 ringgit a month, and you opt for that. Like different things, moments that matter, and I think that's where we want to do it. What was the second part of the question? Tadi about career development. What was it?
No, just because yeah, the questions relate the personalized compensations with having an impact on the employees' roles and the need for them to grow and develop themselves.
Correct. And I think it's the same. In Shell, we always ask you, are you mobile or not? Meaning, are you willing to travel for work? Because again, you could be in a personal situation where you are not mobile. So of course, most people will say internationally mobile, locally not mobile, because nobody wants to move within Malaysia, but they want to move overseas, right? But in all honesty, most people are either mobile or not, right? And let me share my own experience on why I like Pfizer. Yeah, I love working in Pfizer. It was a brilliant company. It did a lot of things for my career. I was in KL for 5 years, and then they transferred me to Singapore. And at that point of time, when I moved to Singapore, I thought my wife and kids would follow me. However, my wife had a government bond that she miscalculated. She thought she could join me in Singapore after a year, but she did a miscalculation and realized that she can only join me in Singapore after 3.5 years. Yeah. And at that point of time, I was Friday night fly back from Singapore to KL, Sunday night fly in. I didn't have, belum ada my third child, but my twins were I think about 3 years old. So every Sunday night is a drama because when I pull out my luggage bag, all the crying starts to happen. And that's when I realized that, you know what, I can't do this anymore. You know, my children are young. Right now, they're still interested to speak and talk and hang out with me. When they become 10, 12 years old, then, you know, the father is no longer cool for them. Then they don't want to lepak with me. And if at that time I'm at the same place with them, what's the point? I had already missed my chance. Yeah, so I decided, I spoke to Pfizer, said, can I get back my old job? They were like, I knew I cannot get back my old job because I hired someone else in my old job. And they say, look, there are no rules that can make you be based out of Malaysia. And my personal circumstances at that point of time was I wanted the family to be together. So either my wife could quit her government service and not pay her bond, which means then she cannot practice as a specialist in the hospital, or I can quit and join another company. And by that time, Shell had already invited me twice, to speak and get connected. And I was like, oh, if I'm going to come back to Malaysia, then definitely Shell is on top of my list of companies that I want to join. So long story short, so here I am. So I've always made decision based on what family is. If you realize, before I joined Pfizer, I was in an aviation company. I was managing HR for Asia Pacific. Huge, beautiful job. Travel, I go to Hong Kong one day, next week go to Australia. Best lah, living the traveler's dream. But I was away from the country maybe 23, 24 days in 1 month, mengalahkan cabin crew and pilot. At that point of time, my wife and I wanted to start a family. But, whenever it was the right time to be at home, I was never at home, I was traveling. So again, my wife and I, we discussed, okay, we can always chase careers, but if we miss this boat of having a child, we'll never get this chance again. And again, I asked for a job to be based in Malaysia, or rather a job that doesn't require me to take care of Asia Pacific. And no job existed, so I joined Pfizer. When I joined Pfizer, I insisted to my boss that I want HR Director Malaysia. And my boss was worried that I would quit soon because I was doing an Asia job. But I said, no, I want a job in Malaysia where I don't travel. So within a year, my wife got pregnant, etc. And then I said, okay, now you can give me a regional job. Now I'm okay to travel. So you have to put in your personal lens to everything, because you don't want to, end up at 60 years old and then tell yourself, oh, maybe I should have done this in my career. Just whatever that makes sense for you and the family, that's what you do.
Yeah. So it goes back to planning and all.
Correct.
Well, thank you so much, Encik Shazmi, for the sharing and insights. And we have come to the end of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I thank you all very much for your participation in this program. And we hope that you find the program that we had lined up for you for this semester to be fruitful and engaging. And to Encik Shazmi, thank you again. And I do believe this not the first time and the last, and we hope to see you more in our future programs. And again, thank you everyone, and Assalamualaikum.
Bye. Keep in touch.